If you ever worked in the UK, even for just a few years, and you are now living anywhere outside of the country, there is a window closing on April the 5th that could be worth over £3,000 a year to you in your retirement income. Almost nobody is talking about it. This is not just for British passport holders. If you are European, Australian, South African, American, it doesn't really matter. If you paid in the UK national insurance system while you were working there, this applies to you. Right now, today, you can fill up gaps in the UK national insurance record for £3.50 a week. That is £182 a year, the Class 2 voluntary contribution rate. After April the 5th, the option disappears completely for people living abroad. You will then move to Class 3, which is £17.75 a week, £923 a year. Same result, same pension credit, 5 times the price. If you have 10 missing years on your record, we are talking about the difference between paying £1,800 or paying over £9,000 for the exact same increase to your state pension. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to check your record, what to do about it, and what your options are, even if you cannot get everything done before the deadline. Here is what most people who have worked in the UK get wrong once they leave. They assume their UK state pension is either lost, frozen, or not worth thinking about it because they left years ago. It is none of those things. The UK state pension, it's one of the highest returning inflation-linked government-backed income streams you can buy into. A full pension right now pays £11,973 a year. And you can buy years of it at a massive discount, but only until April. There is also a second change coming that could catch people completely off guard. Right now, to be eligible to pay voluntary contributions from abroad, you need to have lived in the UK for at least 3 continuous years. From April, that jumps to 10 years. 10 years of national insurance contributions or 10 consecutive years of UK residency. If you don't meet the new threshold, you could be locked out entirely. So this is not just about the price, it's also about the access. Let me walk you through the numbers so you can see why this matters. What the contributions actually buy. The full UK state pension requires 35 years of contributions. At the current rate, that pays £230 a week or just shy of £12,000 a year. If you have, let's say, 22 years of contributions on your record, your pension will be roughly £7,500. Add 10 more years of voluntary contributions and you jump to around £10,900. This is an increase of about £3,400 a year every year for the rest of your life once you start drawing. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Thanks to the triple lock, the state pensions have increased by 4 to 5% a year recently. The 2026-2027 rate has also been confirmed at £241 a week, up 4.8%. If the trajectory holds, today's £12,000 could realistically be £18,000 to £20,000 a year by the time you draw in 15 or 20 years. The payback math before and after April. If you fill 10 years of Class 2 rate before April 5th, you pay £182 a year times 10, that's roughly £1,800 in total. Your pension increases by around £3,400 a year. That is a payback equivalent of about 6 months worth of income. You pay $1,800 and within your first year of drawing your pension, you have already made it back and then some. Now, after April, the same 10 years cost you £923 a year. That is £9,230 in total. And here's the counterintuitive part. It is still worth doing. A £3,400 extra pounds in your pension. You break even in just under 3 years. This is still an extraordinary return. You will not find anything like this anywhere in the market. But the difference between doing it now and doing it in May, this is over £7,000 in savings for the same outcome. So if you can act before April 5th, act Now, act before the April 5th. The eligibility change you need to know about. This is the part that I think is going to catch the most people off guard. Right now, to qualify and pay the voluntary contributions from overseas, you need to have lived in the UK for at least 3 continuous years. A lot of people meet that threshold. You can come over for university and stay for a couple of jobs, or you did a 3-year position in London. That also counts. From April, the requirement jumps up to 10 years. Either 10 years of national insurance contributions while in the UK or 10 consecutive years of UK residency. If you were in the UK for 5 or 6 years, you might no longer qualify to contribute at all. And remember, you also need a minimum of 10 qualifying years on your record to get any state pension at all. So if you are sitting on, say, 7 years right now, and you will lose the ability to top up from abroad, you could end up with nothing. 0 pension for those 7 years of contribution. That is a real risk here. What to actually do, a step-by-step part. First, check your national insurance record online on gov.co.uk. Sign in through the government gateway and look at your contribution history. It will show which years are full, which years have gaps, and which you can still fill. Secondly, if you have gaps you want to fill, you need to submit CF83 form. That is the form for voluntary national insurance contributions from abroad. Now, here's the important part. HMRC processing times are long. We are talking 6 to 8 months in some cases. So you may not get a letter back in time. But that doesn't not necessarily mean you have missed the window. The tactical play, if you are running out of time, is this. And this is what I've been telling my clients. Send the completed CF83 form via tracker courier. Then call the HMRC and ask them to log a receipt of your form. Ask them to note your intent to pay the class 2 rate on their system and the date when you've done this. This will create a paper trail that will show them that you took action before the April deadline. Now, I want to be honest with you. This is not a guarantee. HMRC has the discretion here, but I have helped over 20 clients navigate the extra process. Now, I want to be honest with you. This is no guarantee. HMRC has the discretion here, but I have helped dozens of clients navigate the exact process, and having that document trail of intent makes a real difference when you are arguing your case after the fact. You did your part. It's not your fault that their system took 8 months to process a form. Do not treat it as a loophole, because this is not. Treat it as a responsible thing to do when a government department cannot keep up with its own deadline. This is about the freeze trap and what you need to know before the plan. One more thing you need to know is if you retire and draw your UK state pension while living outside of the UK and you are not in a country with a reciprocity agreement, your pension gets frozen. It stops increasing with inflation from the day of your first claim. Malaysia doesn't have an agreement, Thailand doesn't, Singapore doesn't, most of Southeast Asia doesn't. So that £12,000 a year, in 20 years, it is still gonna be £12,000 if you start accessing it now with no triple lock, no inflation adjustment. For context, if you draw it while you live in the UK or in the EU or in the US for that matter, or a handful of other countries with the agreement, it keeps going up every year in line with inflation. Move back to the UK, even temporarily, it restarts at the current rate. But while you are in a frozen country, it stays where it started. This does not mean that the pension is not worth topping up. It absolutely is, but you need to factor the freeze into your planning. Know what you are buying before you decide to commit for it. So let me bring this back together. Whether you are watching this in March and you still have time, or whether this is already May and you think you have missed the boat, the UK state pension is one of the best deals available to anyone who has worked in the UK. Before April, the payback is extraordinary. 6 months, maybe 7. After April, it's still one of the smartest financial moves you can make. Under 3 years to pay it all back. But the gap between those two, over £7,000 for the example we've discussed, it will give you the same outcome. That is the window you need to care about right now. And if you are someone with fewer than 10 years on your record, this is not just about saving money, it's about keeping the door open at all. Because after April, that door may close forever. Check your record today, count your gaps, and act if you need to act fast. I have personally helped dozens of clients navigate this process, from checking their national insurance record to submitting the form and dealing with the HMRC at their end. If you want to walk through your specific numbers and figure out exactly what your gaps are and if they are worth filling, there is a link below to book a call. We have roughly 3 to 4 weeks to act on this class 2 rate. So if this video lands with you, do not sit on it. If you are not ready for that, no problem. Subscribe, because I publish a new deep dive like this every week for anyone dealing with cross-border financial decision. I will see you in the next one.